we all familiar with that song. It's one of the most well-known Hawaiian singers, and it has to be Israel Kamakawiwo'ole. Before his untimely death at the age of 39, Bruddah who was already huge in Hawaii, went international with his album Facing the Future. His medley of Somewhere Over the Rainbow and What a Wonderful World have been in several films and can be heard around the world. And now there's a new book about the legendary entertainer called 33 1/3, Facing the Future. And the author, Dan Kois, joins us now. And good morning, sir. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Really appreciate it. And first of all, what inspired you to write this book about Brother Israel? Of course, you are from the mainland. You've been in New York, but I guess you lived in Hawaii for a year or so.
I did, and while I was here, I came to really love Israel's music and also the pop culture of Hawaii, not just the high culture or the ancient culture, but the way that Hawaii had its own indigenous pop culture. The music that people listened to on the radio and the books they read were very different from anything I'd ever seen on the mainland, and I really fell in love with Israel and his story.
And what was it about the story that just caught your eye?
Well, you know, Israel had a pretty checkered life and a very adventurous life, but he had highs and lows in his life. But Facing Future, the album that this book focuses on, was a turning point for him. You know, at the time he recorded it, he was on welfare, even though he'd been in one of the biggest bands in Hawaii for almost 20 years.
Right, the Makaha Sons. The
Makaha Sons of Ni'ihau. And so when he recorded this album, it was his attempt to create a legacy for himself and to create a future for his family, because he knew he didn't have long to live. And so I was very attracted to both the music and the story behind the music.
And we were talking about this beforehand. This is music that spread across the world. I had a friend who was in Italy, and his song came on. I mean, this is an international success. Why? Do you explore the reason why you think he became such a huge star outside of Hawaii?
Yeah, well, the song, obviously, is the main reason. The Over the Rainbow medley is an incredibly catchy song. And it's impossible to listen to it without wanting to know what it is. And Israel's success came just as the internet was blowing up and people could go online to find out who he was, could go onto Napster, which at the time was the file sharing service of choice, and download his stuff and buy his stuff at Amazon.com if they lived on the mainland or in Italy, say, couldn't necessarily go to their local record store and pick it up. And at the same time, his recording label, the Mountain Apple Studios, has been very canny and smart about licensing his work for movies, as you said, for TV ads. His first big splash came on ER when Dr. Mark Green died right here in Hawaii. And those kinds of appearances helped make Iz huge. And the book talks about how that happened, but it also talks about the effects that has had on Hawaiian music, for good and for ill.
All right, and you're going to be at a number of locations over the weekend.
That's right. The Hawaii Book and Music Festival is this weekend downtown, and I'll be appearing Saturday on the very same stage as Dwayne Dog Chapman.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And I'll be this afternoon at Native Books at Ward Warehouse, Friday at Borders Waikele, and Sunday at Borders Ward Center.
He's Dan Kois, and he's the author of 33 1/3, Facing the Future. Sir, thank you for being here. We
Thanks
appreciate
so much.
it. And we'll be right back with much more. It is 6:20.